Driver's Guide to Operation, Safety, and Licensing, Cars and Light Trucks. Chapter 2, Traffic Control. Traffic Control Signals. Traffic control signals are the lights that use the colors green, yellow, and red to control the flow of traffic at intersections or where roadways merge. The color of the light determines which stream of traffic has the right of way. The traffic control signal may be vertical or horizontal. The order of lights for a vertical traffic control signal is red at the top, yellow in the center, and green at the bottom. The order of lights for a horizontal traffic control signal is red on the left, yellow in the center, and green on the right. Solid red light. Drivers facing a traffic control signal displaying a solid red light must bring their vehicles to a complete stop before the stop line or crosswalk that is directly in front of the vehicle. If there is no stop line or crosswalk, drivers must stop before the intersection. Vehicles must remain stopped at the red light until it turns green, unless safely turning right after stopping. A solid double red light has the same meaning as a single red light. Right turn at red light. Unless a sign prohibits the turn, a driver may turn at a red light after stopping completely before the stop line or crosswalk, if the turn can be made safely after yielding to the other traffic. Left turn at red light. Unless a sign prohibits the turn, the only left turn permitted at a red light is onto a one-way street from a one-way street. This turn is only permitted after the vehicle is brought to a complete stop before the stop line or crosswalk, and if the turn can be made safely after yielding to other traffic. Solid yellow light. When a green light changes to yellow, it warns that the light will change to red immediately and drivers must prepare to stop or clear the intersection. Drivers approaching an intersection with a solid, not flashing, yellow traffic control light must bring their vehicles to a complete stop before the line or crosswalk, unless a point has been reached at the intersection where stopping cannot be done safely. If there is no stop line or crosswalk, vehicles must stop before the intersection. Drivers already in the intersection and facing a yellow light must safely clear the intersection. Solid green light. Drivers facing a solid green traffic light are permitted to travel through the intersection without stopping, unless required to yield to oncoming traffic when turning left, or to pedestrians in the crosswalk when turning left or right. When approaching a green light, anticipate that it will turn yellow. A stale green light means that the light has been green for a while and will turn yellow soon. A good tip is to check the pedestrian walk light at the intersection. If it shows the walk symbol, the light will stay green. If it shows the don't walk symbol, be ready to stop. If the traffic light does change, the driver must stop before the intersection if it can be done safely. Green arrow with green light. Drivers facing a traffic control light with a green arrow and a solid green traffic control light may enter the intersection and proceed without yielding in the direction indicated by the arrow. Drivers facing the green light may also proceed in the other directions when it is safe and legal. Green arrow with red light. Drivers facing a traffic control light with a green arrow and a red control light may enter the intersection and proceed without stopping only in the direction indicated by the arrow. Flashing red light. Drivers facing a flashing red traffic control light must stop before the stop line or crosswalk. If there is no stop line or crosswalk, drivers must stop before the intersection. Drivers should proceed only when it is safe and after yielding the right of way. The flashing red light is treated like a stop sign. When the lights in all directions are flashing red at the intersection, it becomes a four-way stop. Flashing yellow light. Drivers facing a flashing yellow traffic light may proceed with caution after yielding to pedestrians and other vehicles within the intersection. Flashing green light. Drivers facing a flashing green traffic control light are permitted to go through, turn left, or turn right without stopping. Opposing traffic will be facing a red light. However, a driver must still yield to pedestrians or other vehicles lawfully in the intersection. Pedestrian signals and signs. Drivers must understand pedestrian control lights so they can anticipate the actions of those sharing the road. Pedestrians facing a traffic control signal where a word or symbol indicating walk is displayed may enter the crosswalk or roadway when it is safe and proceed in that direction. A pedestrian facing a traffic control signal where a word or symbol indicates don't walk must not enter the crosswalk or roadway. Pedestrians who have begun crossing when the word or symbol appears may continue crossing and clear the crosswalk. Some pedestrian signals include a countdown timer to show how much time remains. Image description. A black box with a white figure. Image description. A black box with a white figure. Pedestrian signal indicating walk. Black box with an orange hand. Pedestrian signal indicating don't walk or wait. Yellow lights on a sign with a symbol indicate that caution is required because of school zones or areas, playground zones or areas, school crossings, and pedestrian crossings. When the yellow lights are flashing, the driver must reduce speed to a maximum of 30 km per hour and yield or stop for pedestrians. Image description. A white box with a black outline and a black humanoid figure. 2 yellow lights on either side. Pedestrian crossing sign with yellow lights. A white box with a black outline and a black humanoid figure. Pedestrian crossing sign without yellow lights. At intersections with traffic control signals, but without pedestrian walk and don't walk signals, pedestrians must obey the rules for the color of light they are facing. Solid red light. Do not enter the intersection. Solid yellow light. Clear the intersection if already crossing, or do not enter the intersection. Solid green light. Proceed across the road within any marked or unmarked crosswalk. Pedestrians should check for vehicles before starting to cross. Lane reversal signals. Lane reversal signals are used to control the direction of traffic on a specific lane of the roadway. A common use of this control is reversible lanes that change the flow of traffic during different times of the day. The signal or signals over one or more lanes change between a red X and a green arrow. Image description. A black box with a red X. Solid red X. When a red X is displayed over a driving lane, the driver does not enter or remain in that lane. This signal indicates that the lane is being used by oncoming traffic. Move safely into a lane with a green arrow. Image description. A black box with a green arrow pointing downward. Downward pointing green arrow. A driver facing the downward pointing green arrow is permitted to travel in that lane. Image description. 3 lanes of traffic separated by a double dotted white line. The 2 lanes on the left have a red X above them. The lane on the right has a green arrow pointing down. A vehicle is driving in the center lane with their right turn signal on and an arrow indicating that they are changing into the right lane. Out of the lane with an X marked over it and into the lane with an arrow marked over it. Vehicle moving from red X lane to green arrow lane. Sign shapes and colors. The word or symbol on traffic regulation signs tell the driver what can or cannot be done at a specific location or time and provide information. The shape and color will vary depending on the type of message. Traffic regulation signs include those that show the right of way and road access that is permitted or prohibited. They also show control of speed, turns, direction of travel, passing, traffic lanes, parking, and crosswalks. Action or activity within the circle is not permitted. Image description: a white box, red circle and slash on white background, square shape. Action or activity within the circle is permitted. Image description: a white box, green circle on white background, square shape. Regulatory message such as speed limit. Image description: a white box, regulatory message on white background, rectangle shape. Indicates a school zone or area or school crosswalk. Fluorescent yellow-green background, pentagon shape. Indicates line control. Image description: a black box, white message on black background, square shape. Provides construction area information. Image description: an orange diamond. Information or picture on an orange background, diamond shape. Provides information such as distance to destination. Image description: a green rectangle. White message on green background, rectangle shape. Indicates place for fuel, food, lodging, or assistance. Image descriptions: white message on brown background, square shape. White message on blue background, square shape. Indicates caution or warning of hazard displayed on sign. Image description: white lettering on a yellow background, diamond shape. Traffic regulatory signs. Stop. Come to a complete stop and do not proceed until safe. Image description: a stop sign. A red octagon with the white letters stop. Yield. Yield the right of way to traffic not facing the sign and to all pedestrians waiting to cross and within the crosswalk or intersection. Image description: a triangle pointing downwards with a red outline and white center. Wrong way. Indicates traffic is moving in an oncoming direction. A rectangular red sign with white lettering saying wrong way. Do not enter. Image description: a white rectangle with a red circle and a smaller white rectangle separating the top and bottom hemispheres. Railway crossing. An X with a red outline and white interior. Traffic direction signs. Proceed in direction of arrow only. Image descriptions: a black rectangle with a left pointing arrow and a black lettering saying one way. A black rectangle with a white right pointing arrow with a black lettering one way. Two-way traffic. Image description: a white rectangle with a black dotted line in the center, an arrow pointing upwards on the right, and an arrow pointing downwards on the left. Divider ahead, keep right. Image description: a white rectangle with an arrow going straight and then curving to the right and forward again, around a black block. Speed limit signs. Speed limits do not indicate the maximum speed drivers should travel. They are the maximum speed permitted when conditions are ideal. Any speed that is unsafe for the current conditions is illegal. Image description: a white rectangle with the black lettering maximum and the black lettering 100. Speed limit signs are in kilometers per hour, km/h. Unless otherwise posted, 100 kilometers per hour is the maximum speed limit on a provincial highway located outside an urban area. 80 kilometers per hour is the maximum speed limit on a provincial highway located inside a corporate limit of a city. 80 kilometers per hour is the maximum speed limit on a roadway that is located outside an urban area. Image description. A green rectangle with a white stripe and the green lettering Trans-Canada. Inside is a white maple leaf and the numeral 1. Below it is a white banner and a green lettering saying Alberta. A white rectangle with the black lettering Alberta and a black outlined box with the numbers 28. A white rectangle with a pink Alberta rose and a black outlined circle with the numerals 635. A provincial highway is identified by either a single-digit, two-digit, or three-digit highway route marker. A local road generally would not have a route marker, but could be identified by a name, such as Irikana Road, a township road, such as TWP RD 52, or a range road, such as RGE RD 252, also known as Township Road 52, Range Road 252. 50 kilometers per hour is the maximum speed limit on a roadway that is located within an urban area. Designated lane signs. The message or symbol on these signs indicates the direction or directions a vehicle must travel in the lane. Right turn. Image description. A black rectangle with a white arrow going straight and then turning to the right. Left turn. Image description. A black rectangle with a white arrow going forward and then turning left. Straight or right turn. Image description. A black rectangle with an arrow that splits into two, with one going forward and a second turning right. Straight or left turn. Image description. A black rectangle with an arrow that splits into two, with one going straight and the other turning left. Straight only. Image description. A black rectangle with an arrow going up. Left turn lane control. Image description. A black rectangle with two arrows, one coming down from the top and turning to the right, the other coming up from the bottom and turning left. Some intersections allow more than one vehicle traveling in the same direction to turn at the same time. Maintain your lane position during and after the turn. Dual right turn. Image description. A black rectangle with two white arrows going straight and turning to the right, with a dividing rectangle in between. Dual left turn. A black rectangle with two white arrows going straight and then turning left, with a white rectangle in between. Left lane, turn left. Right lane, straight or turn left. Image description. A black rectangle with two arrows. The leftmost arrow going straight and then turning left. There is a white rectangle separating the two. The second arrow splits into two, with a first turning left and the second going straight. Left lane, turn left. Right lane, straight. Image description. A black square with two arrows and a dividing rectangle. The first arrow is going straight and then turning left. The dividing rectangle. The second arrow is going straight. left lane, turn left, center lane, straight, right lane, straight or turn right. Image description: a black rectangle with 3 white arrows and 2 dividing rectangles. The first arrow goes straight and then turns left, dividing rectangle. The second arrow goes straight, dividing rectangle. The third arrow splits into 2, with the first going straight and the second going right. Indicated lanes are reserved for specific vehicles like buses, taxis, and bicycles. The symbol on the sign will identify the vehicles permitted to travel in this lane. Reserved lanes may operate at all times or only some of the time. Reserved lanes that operate only some of the time will show the hours of the day and the days of the week when the lane is reserved. Image descriptions: a white rectangle with a black outline. In the top left corner is a black square. Inside is a diamond with a white outline and a black interior. On the top left is an image of a bus and a taxi. In the center, black lettering saying 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock, 16 o'clock to 18 o'clock, Monday to Friday, and an arrow pointing downwards. A white rectangle with a black outline. In the top left corner is a black square. Inside is a diamond with a white outline and black interior. In the top right is a bicycle. In the bottom left, there is an arrow pointing left. Permissive signs. Permission signs are a green circle on a white square. The action within the green circle is permitted. Prohibitive signs. The symbol prohibiting an action is a red circle and a diagonal red bar on a white square. The action within the red circle is not permitted. No left turn. Image description: a white rectangle with a red circle and slash over a black arrow going straight, then turning left. No parking and stopping permitted. The arrow under the symbol indicates where the action indicated on the sign is not permitted. Image descriptions: a white rectangle with a red circle and slash through the letter P. An arrow on the bottom is pointing right. No parking on the days and times shown. Image description: a white rectangle with a red slash and red circle through the letter P. Below it, 9 o'clock to 16 o'clock. On the bottom, Monday to Friday. School zones and areas. School zone. When you approach a school sign with a maximum speed posted with it, you are entering a school zone. You must not exceed the posted speed when the zone is in effect. Image description: a yellow-green sign in a pentagon shape with a pair of humanoid figures. Below it, a white rectangle with the words maximum, and below it, 30 in numerals. Times, school days only, are 8 a.m. to 9:30 a.m., 11:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m., 3 o'clock p.m. to 4:30 p.m. These hours may vary for different towns and cities according to the municipal bylaws. If a municipality does establish times different than these, the times will be posted beneath the school sign. You are not permitted to pass or attempt to pass another vehicle traveling in the same direction within a school zone when the zone is in effect. The speed limit for both urban and rural school zones is 30 kilometers per hour, unless otherwise posted. School zone ends. A school zone ends where a traffic sign indicates 1. a higher maximum speed, or 2. The end of the school zone. Image description. A white rectangle with the black lettering maximum and below it 50 in numerals. A yellow rectangle with a black outline with the black lettering end school zone. School area. When you approach a school sign without a speed sign attached to it, you are entering a school area. This sign is to alert drivers that children may be walking or crossing the road, and you must use caution while driving through the school area. School crosswalk. This sign alerts drivers to watch for pedestrians. Image description. A white rectangle with a black outline. 2 humanoid figures are present. Playground zones and areas. Playground zone. When you approach a playground sign with a maximum speed sign attached to it, you are entering a playground zone. You must not exceed the posted speed when the zone is in effect. Image description. A yellow diamond with a black outline. A humanoid figure is pictured running after a small black ball. Below it, a white rectangle with the black lettering maximum and below it 30 in numerals. Playground restrictions are in effect every day from 8:30 a.m. to 1 hour after sunset. These hours may vary for different towns and cities according to municipal bylaws. If a municipality does establish times different than these, the times will be posted beneath the playground sign. You are not permitted to pass or attempt to pass another vehicle traveling in the same direction within a playground zone when the restriction is in effect. The speed limit for both urban and rural playground zones when the times are in effect is 30 kilometers per hour unless otherwise posted. Image descriptions. A white rectangle with the black lettering maximum and below it 50 in numerals. A yellow rectangle with a black outline saying end playground zone in black lettering. Playground zone ends. A black playground zone ends where a traffic sign indicates 1. A higher maximum speed, or 2. The end of the playground zone. Playground area. Image description. A yellow diamond with a black outline. A black humanoid figure is pictured running after a small black ball. When you approach a playground sign without a speed limit attached to it, you are entering a playground area. This sign is to alert drivers that children may be near you and must use caution when driving through the playground area. Parking services for persons with disabilities. This sign indicates parking for persons with disabilities. These parking spaces are to ensure that persons with disabilities have safe access to goods and services. Image description. A blue rectangle with a white figure sitting in a semicircle. It is illegal for any vehicle to park or stop in a parking spot reserved for persons with disabilities unless the vehicle has an identifying parking placard or license plate. The application for a parking placard for persons with disabilities can be found at www.servicealberta.ca/pdf/parking placards reg3164.pdf or by contacting a registry agent or family doctor. TTY capabilities. This sign indicates payphones that have a TTY, teletypewriter, that assists people who are hearing or speech impaired to use telephone networks. Image description. A dark blue square with a white telephone. Below it, a blue square with the letters TTY. Warning sign. Warning signs give drivers advance notice of actions required or potentially hazardous conditions on or near a road. Some of these signs warn of a traffic regulation, such as stop or yield, features or physical conditions on the road, hazards that may require a driver to respond. Traffic regulations. Image descriptions. a yellow rectangle with a black outline. There is a red octagon on the bottom with a black arrow pointing up above it. Stop ahead. Image description. A yellow diamond with a black outline. There is a downward pointing triangle with a red outline and a white interior. Above it is an arrow pointing up. Yield ahead. Image description. A yellow diamond with a black outline. Within it is a black rectangle, vertical. On top of the black rectangle are a red circle, a yellow circle, and a green circle, listed top to bottom. Traffic control signals ahead. Image description. A yellow diamond with a black outline. In the center, there is a school bus with a small red flashing light and two small figures walking away in either direction from the school bus. Above it is a black arrow pointing up. School bus stop ahead. Stop at traffic lights ahead when yellow lights are flashing. Image description. A yellow rectangle with a black outline. In the center, there is a yellow diamond with a black outline. Inside is a vertical black rectangle. On top of the black rectangle, there are a red circle, a yellow circle, and a green circle, listed top to bottom. To the left of the diamond is a black square with an orange circle, and to the right of the diamond, there is a black square with an orange circle. This warning sign is placed in advance of some of the intersections with traffic control signals. When the yellow lights are flashing, drivers approaching the intersection must prepare to stop because the traffic control light will be turning from green to yellow or yellow to red, or is currently red. Turn or curve ahead. Image descriptions. A yellow diamond with a black outline. An arrow going up and then a 90-degree angle to the right. Sharp turn right. Image description. A yellow diamond with a black outline. An arrow going up and then to the right slightly. Curve right. Image description. A yellow rectangle with a black outline. A black arrow going up and then a 90-degree angle to the left. Sharp turn left. Image description. A yellow diamond with a black outline. A black arrow goes up, curves to the left, then curves back to the right so that it is going up again. Road curves left. Image description. A yellow diamond with a black outline. A black arrow going up, then curving a 90-degree angle to the left, and a 90-degree angle to the right again, so it is going up. Road turns left/right. Image description. A yellow diamond with a black outline. A black arrow going up, then curving to the right, to the left, to the right again, and going on straight. Winding road. Arrow going up, then curving a 90-degree angle to the left, and an angle to the right again, so it is going up. Road turns left/right. Image description. A yellow diamond with a black outline. A black arrow going up, then curving to the right, to the left, to the right again, and going on straight. Winding road. Image description. A yellow diamond with a black outline. There is an arrow going up and curving to the right. Below it, a yellow square with the black lettering 85 in numerals, and below it, kilometers per hour, or km/h. Recommended maximum speed through this curve under ideal driving conditions. Crossings ahead. Image description. A yellow diamond with a black outline. Within it is a black humanoid figure. Pedestrian crossing. Image description. A yellow diamond with a black outline and a deer. Animal Crossing. Image description. A yellow diamond with a black outline and a black silhouette of a moose. Moose Crossing. Image description. A yellow diamond with a black outline. Within it, a silhouette of a bicycle. Bicycle Crossing. A yellowish green sign with two humanoid figures. School Crosswalk. Image description. A yellow rectangle with a black outline. On the left is a black image of a snowmobile. On the right is an image of a road. Motorized snow vehicles crossing. Intersections ahead. Image description. A yellow diamond with a black outline. A long black vertical rectangle in the center, with a smaller rectangle converging from the right at a 45-degree angle. Hidden road, right. Image description. A yellow diamond with a black outline. A long black rectangle in the center. A smaller rectangle converging from the left at a 45-degree angle. Hidden road, left. Image description. A yellow diamond with a black outline. A black vertical rectangle with a slightly shorter horizontal rectangle overlapping it. Hidden road. Image description. A yellow diamond with a black outline. A black Y is seen. Y intersection. Image description. A yellow diamond with a black outline. A long black rectangle with a smaller horizontal rectangle above it to make a T. T intersection. Image description. A yellow diamond with a black outline. In the center is a long black vertical rectangle with a smaller black rectangle coming off the left side. T intersection. Image description. A yellow diamond with a black outline. In the center, a vertical rectangle. Going across it horizontally is a depiction of a railway. Railway crossing. Image description. A yellow rectangle with a black border. On the left, the depiction of a road. On the right, the depiction of a truck going fast. Trucks entering from right. Image description. A diamond with a checkerboard of black and yellow. Dead end. Image description. A pale yellow diamond with a black border. In it are 3 arrows pointing in a circle going counterclockwise. Roundabout. Roadways ahead that join. Image description. A yellow diamond with a black border. There is an arrow going forward. There is a smaller rectangle attached to the arrow, merging from the right at a 45-degree angle. Merging traffic. Roadways ahead, side by side, but do not join. Image description. A yellow diamond with a black outline. An arrow going forward. On the right, an arrow coming in at an angle, then straightening out and going forward. Between the two are divisions, one of them dotted. Free flow, added lane. Narrow roadways ahead. Image description. A yellow diamond with a black outline. Two rectangles frame a section of the background. At the top, they are close together. In the middle, they are furthering apart. At the bottom, they are distant. Road narrows both sides. Image description. A yellow diamond with a black outline. In the middle are two rectangles, close at the center, but at the top and the bottom, they are distant. Narrow passage. Image description. A yellow diamond with a black border. On the left is a rectangle that goes in slightly to the right and then forward again. On the right is a straight rectangle. Left lane narrows to right. Image description. A yellow diamond with a black border. On the left is a rectangle. On the right, there is a rectangle that is far at the bottom. In the center, it bends inwards, then goes forward again. Right lane narrows to left. Image description. A yellow diamond with a black border. There are two rectangles and two dotted lines. The rectangle on the left goes straight, turns in to the right, then goes straight again. It is covering a dotted line partway through. Next to that is the second dotted line, and next to that is the second rectangle. They are both straight. Left lane ends. Divided highway. Image description. A yellow diamond with a black border. There are two arrows and one block. The arrow on the left is going down. It starts outside, then curves in and goes down again. The arrow on the right is going up. It starts on the inside, then curves right and continues going up. In between the two, at the top, is a black block. Divided highway begins. Image description. A yellow diamond with a black border. There are two arrows and a black block. The arrow on the left is going down. It starts close to the center, then curves left and goes down again. The arrow on the right is going up. It starts out, curves into the left, then continues up. Between the two at the bottom is a black block. Divided highway ends. Changing road conditions. Image description. A yellow diamond with a black border. There is a black silhouette of a truck going down a hill. Hill. Image description. A yellow diamond with a black border. There is a black rectangle with three bumps coming up of the top. Bump. Image description. A yellow diamond with a black outline. In the center is a vertical black rectangle. The bottom half of the rectangle is black. The top half dissolves into pieces. Pavement ends. Image description. A yellow diamond with a black border. In the center is a vehicle. Where the tires are two squiggly lines, symbolizing the tire tracks. Slippery when wet. Image description. A vertical rectangle with alternating black and yellow diagonal lines, going from bottom left to top right. Hazard marker, object on right. Image description. A vertical rectangle with alternating black and yellow diagonal lines, going from bottom right to top left. Hazard marker, object on left. Image description. A yellow diamond with a black outline. In black text, rumble strips. 200 meters. In numerals. Image description. A yellow diamond with a black outline. In the center is a black mass. To the left of it, it is dissolving into smaller black globules. Falling rock. Image description. A pale yellow rectangle. Inside is a bent line pointing left. Image description. A pale yellow rectangle with a bent line pointing right. Chevron signs indicate a sharp turn or bend in the road. Shared use. Image description. A yellow diamond with a black border. In the center is a silhouette of a car and a silhouette of a bicycle, one on the left, one on the right. Below it, a yellow rectangle with the black text, "Share the road," warns motorists to provide space for cyclists. Image description. A yellow diamond with a black border. In it, a silhouette of a cyclist and a silhouette of a vehicle, one on top of the other. Below it, a yellow rectangle with the black text, "Single lane," warns that cyclists are allowed full use of the lane ahead and that the lane is too narrow for side-by-side driving. This ends Part 1 of Chapter 2 of the Alberta Driver's Guide. Alberta Government presents Driver's Guide to Operation, Safety, and Licensing, Cars and Light Trucks. Chapter 2, Part 2. Other signs. Slow-moving vehicle. A slow-moving vehicle sign is placed on the back of vehicles that travel less than 40 kilometers per hour, such as farm tractors, machinery, or construction equipment. This sign warns drivers to be prepared to reduce their speed. Image description. A red triangle with a smaller orange triangle within. End image description. Oversized loads. This sign indicates a wide load is being transported. Use caution when passing vehicles displaying this sign. Image descriptions. A rectangle with red and white stripes and the white letter D in the center. Below it, a yellow rectangle with a black border with the black lettering Wide Load and ID. Construction. The speed limit in construction zones must be obeyed at all times. This applies even when people and equipment are not working, since hazards like bumps, fresh oil, and loose gravel may be present. If workers are present, the fines in these areas will be doubled. Obey the flag person's signal. Be prepared to slow down and stop if required. The following are some of the warning signs about road construction. Image description. An orange diamond-shaped sign with the black silhouette of a person using a shovel. End ID. People working. Image description. An orange diamond sign with a black silhouette of a person holding a flag. End ID. Flag person. Image description. An orange diamond with the black silhouette of a person bending down over a device. End ID. Survey crew ahead. Image description. An orange diamond with the silhouette of a vehicle and uneven ground, which creates a tilt in the vehicle. End ID. Uneven pavement. ID. An orange rectangle with the black lettering Detour, next 8 kilometers. End ID. Detour next blank kilometers. Image description. An orange rectangle with the black lettering End Construction. End ID. Construction zone ends. Pavement markings. Markings on the roadway can provide the following information: lane identification separating opposing traffic, traffic movement in the same direction, traffic movement in the opposite direction, passing zones and no passing zones, lane use and designation, pedestrian crosswalks, stop lines, parking areas, word or symbol messages. In some cases, pavement markings are used along with other traffic control signals or signs. Lane markings. Lane markings can be yellow or white, single or double, solid or broken. These lines provide important information about the direction of the traffic flow, lane changing, lane restrictions, and passing. Solid line markings. Solid lines mean that crossing the solid line to pass or change lanes is not permitted. Broken line markings. Broken lines mean that crossing the broken line to pass or change lanes is permitted. Yellow line markings. Yellow lines mean that vehicles on each side of the yellow line must travel in opposite directions. A yellow line should always be on the driver's left side. Image description. A gray rectangle symbolizing a road. In the center, there is a dotted yellow line. Above the dotted yellow line is the black lettering direction with an arrow pointing left. Below the dotted line is the black lettering direction with an arrow pointing right. End ID. Image description. A gray rectangle symbolizing a road with two solid yellow lines. Above the two solid lines is the black arrow going left and the black lettering direction. Below the two solid yellow lines is the black lettering saying direction and an arrow pointing right. End ID. Solid yellow lines, single or double, indicate that passing is not permitted. Broken yellow lines indicate that passing is permitted. Be sure that the lane is clear and the pass can be completed safely. Image description. A gray rectangle symbolizing a road with both a broken yellow dotted line and a solid yellow dotted line. Above the broken yellow line is the black lettering direction with an arrow pointing left, and below the solid yellow line is the black lettering direction with an arrow pointing right. End ID. A solid yellow line and a broken yellow line together indicate that a pass is permitted for the driver who has the broken line on their side of the roadway. Passing is not permitted for the driver with the solid yellow line on their side of the roadway. White line markings. White lines mean that vehicles on each side of the white line are traveling in the same direction. Image description. A gray rectangle symbolizing a road. On the left side of the road, there is a solid white line, but on the right side of the road, it becomes a broken white line. Both above and below the white line are the words direction and arrows pointing to the right. End ID. ID. A gray rectangle symbolizing a road. There is a solid white line through the middle. Above and below this white line are the words direction and arrows pointing to the right. End ID. Solid white lines indicate that lane changing is not permitted. ID. A gray rectangle signifying a road with a broken white line down the middle. Above and below the dotted white line are the words direction and arrows pointing to the right. End ID. Broken white lines indicate that lane changing is permitted. Symbols. Symbols may be used on the pavement to supplement standard signs or by themselves, to warn drivers, or to regulate or guide traffic. These markings include arrows. Arrows indicate the vehicle movements permitted in a lane. Image description. An intersection. One lane in the middle has an arrow going straight, then turning, and on the other side of this lane, there is an arrow going straight and then turning the other direction. End image description. On a one-way left turn lane, the center lane of the road is shared and reserved for left-turning traffic traveling in either direction. These lanes are commonly known as suicide lanes. Diamond markings. Diamond markings indicate that a lane is reserved for specific vehicles. There may also be signs that will indicate time or vehicle restrictions. Image description. A gray rectangle symbolizing a road with a white outline of a diamond on it, and ID. ID. A white sign with a black square in the top left corner with a white outline of a diamond in it. To the right of this are a bus and a taxi. The text reads 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock, 16 o'clock to 18 o'clock, Monday to Friday. At the base of this sign is a black arrow pointing down. End ID. Shared use lanes. ID. A yellow diamond with a black outline. At the top of this diamond is a black arrow pointing up. In the center of the diamond, there are two images. On the left is a black square with the white outline of a diamond. On the right is a white square with the black outline of a bicycle. End ID. Reserved bicycle lane ahead. Bicycle lanes are painted in the curb lane of the road with bicycle-shaped stencils and street signage. Bicycle lanes can also be positioned beside a row of parking spots. Vehicles are not allowed to drive in the bicycle lanes except when needing to turn or enter or exit a parking spot. The bicycle lane paint line is usually dashed near the corners to indicate that it is permitted to enter the bicycle lane to turn right. Be careful and watch for bicycles when entering a bicycle lane when turning. ID. The gray stenciling of a bicycle and a diamond. End ID. Bicycle lane markings. This lane is reserved for cyclists. It is separated from traffic and parking by solid white lines and is marked with an image of a bicycle and a diamond. ID. The gray stencil of two bent lines pointing up, and below it, the gray stencil of a bicycle. End ID. The image of a bicycle capped by a pair of arrows guides cyclists and reminds drivers to expect cyclists in the same travel lane. X markings. X markings on rural highways indicate the approach to a railway crossing. An advanced warning sign will also indicate the approach to a railway crossing. Image description. A gray rectangle symbolizing a road going vertical. Horizontally across it is a depiction of railway tracks. In the center, there is a yellow dotted and a yellow broken line. On the right side of the yellow line is a white X painted on the road. Further down, there is a sign. This sign is a yellow diamond, and it symbolizes railway crossing ahead. End ID. Painted Island. Painted islands indicate that this area is not to be used for travel by any road users. Motorists can cross painted islands for the purpose of entering or leaving a driveway, alleyway, or private drive. Image description. A gray rectangle symbolizing pavement. There is an oblong shape with yellow coloring and diagonal yellow lines going across it. End ID. Do not park or stop in this area. Other roadway markings. Crosswalks. Crosswalk lines mark pedestrian crosswalks. Crosswalks also exist at intersections, even when they are unmarked, unless a sign indicates no crossing. Stop lines indicate where vehicles must stop at intersections or railway crossings. Image descriptions. An intersection in gray. As one road turns into the intersection, there is a series of white lines indicating a crosswalk. Adjacent to this crosswalk is a white bar labeled stop line. Next image, a gray depiction of an intersection. Across one road going into the intersection are two white lines symbolizing a crosswalk. End image descriptions. Drivers should not stop in a no stopping zone because they may interfere with other vehicles that are turning from one roadway to another. This is usually where large vehicles need extra room to turn. ID. A gray depiction of an intersection. There is a crosswalk. Below this crosswalk is a white stenciled square with an X going through it, labeled No Stopping Zone. This ends Chapter 2, Part 2 of the Alberta Driver's Guide.